Hi, welcome back to the next move with Valetax. My name is Innocent Ifere, educator for Africa and senior trading content specialist here at Valetax. This week, we're going to be exploring trade ideas, opportunities, and possible fundamentals that could be affecting and influencing the movements of the markets. But before we get started for this week, let's do a quick recap of the trade ideas from last week. On last week's trade idea on the XAUUSD, we had a possible sell to buy scenario which played out excellently well. We see the resistance level and the correction pattern that was forming on the XAUUSD hold in place just up until Friday during the Fed Powell speech at the Jackson Hole Symposium, and we finally got that rapid push to the upside. And on the GBP/USD, we see the sell to buy scenario play out perfectly fine as well. We see the sell starting from the 1.35 resistance level and the buy momentum coming on Friday, just right after Powell's speech at the Jackson Hole Symposium as well. For this coming week, we're going to be exploring trade ideas on XAUUSD, GBP/USD, and the Nasdaq 100. And here are the possible technical outlook for them. For the XAUUSD this week, we see a possible continuation to the upside to target levels as high as 3,400 levels. And here's why. After the huge impulsive move that happened on Friday, we would possibly be expecting a retracement back to the intraday resistance level that was cleared at the 3,347 levels, a possible pullback to that level, and a possible continuation to the upside for the bull sides on XAUUSD. And likewise on the GBP/USD pound dollar, we see a similar scenario possibly to happen, a pullback back to the previous intraday resistance level at the 1.346 areas, and a continuation to the upside. There also is a possibility of a good liquidity pool resting above the previous resistance where the sells came from last week at the 1.36 levels, and to finally clear those levels and target higher. And for the new addition to this week, which is the Nasdaq 100, also known as the US Tech or the Nasdaq Index 100, we see a continuation of the buy sides. After prices coming into the order block at the 23,000 level just right after Powell's speech signaling a possible rate cut, we see stocks start to push higher. And correlatively, when the dollar index is weak, we see a buy momentum on the stocks. The trade idea on the Nasdaq index would be a possible short-term sells for a corrective move before a continuation to the buy side. With our major trade ideas being on the USD, here are the following high impact news that could be influencing the movement or direction of these pairs ahead of the week. The GDP release for the USD. We also see the core PCE index release for the USD, and as well, we also expect the unemployment claims on the USD. The summary for this week's idea is a retracement of the previous impulsive move that happened on the XAUUSD back into low levels to ignite more buy momentum. On the GBP/USD, we also expect a possible short-term correction before the continuation of the bullish move back to higher levels. And for the Nasdaq index, we also expect to see a possible short-term correction mid-term intraday before we get that implosive move back to the upside. Remember, this is not a trading signal, but a trade idea. Always remember to do your own research and apply risk management to every trade you take in the market. And I'll see you same time, same place next week on The Next Move with Valetax.